Hey, this is Jessica Hammer, host of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Dr. Mariah White, host of Your Life Matters, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Your Life Matters, where we talk about dreaming big and dreaming bold to reach your wildest dreams in both your health and your happiness. A new show comes out every single Tuesday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Your Life Matters. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Feeling insecure? One foolproof method for how to improve your self-esteem fast. When you stop trying to fix things on the outside, you can feel better on the inside. You're on your way to building a bulletproof self-esteem and confidence that you can withstand anything. Did you know that? Did you know that when you can show up for yourself and you stop trying to fix things, but just understand and realize that you are who God made you to be as this beautiful, beautiful masterpiece, you can do amazing things. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Public House Media. Welcome to Choose to Rise. And if you are watching here on the Public House Media Facebook page, thank you for showing up and hanging out with me. If you are here on the podcast version, I appreciate you. I am so glad that you're here. And if you're new, welcome, welcome, welcome. We come live here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday here on the Public House Media Facebook page. And then the next Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it drops into podcast form. So however you are listening and watching, I appreciate you. I'm so glad that you showed up here and that you're joining me here on this journey. And if you feel that you love these shows, if you are a fan, I would love to connect with you. I'd love to support you. I love hearing about the listeners, and when they leave rating and reviews, wherever they're listening, I get to see them and engage with you and interact. And I want to thank you right here on the show. So make sure you leave a rating and review, and it helps encourage other people to see it. It increases the chances of other people seeing it. And when you show it off on your social media, it helps them see it as well. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being a part of it. I would also love for you to join my Choose to Rise community on Facebook. It's just Choose to Rise, Choose to Rise Up maybe on Facebook, and you can join that page and just be a part of more engaging, interacting. You can click on it in the, if you're here on the Facebook page, you can click on it here and just like that page and follow along the journey as well. I share healthy tips and tricks and positive motivation. And then, of course, we're always tagged for this podcast. So thank you so much for joining us. And then I also want to give a major shout out to my Together We Rise crew. They are showing up for themselves in their health and their fitness and their life. And they are just being amazing women. And so today they showed up really hard for a really hard workout. And I am so proud of all of them for pushing through and being their best. And, you know, they are improving their confidence by showing up for themselves. And they're not trying to fix something. They're trying to be stronger in who they are. And that is exactly what we're going to talk about today. That's what we're talking about all month long, is confidence and building that confidence. And thank you so much for being on live with me. I appreciate you. When we are showing up confidently in our lives, we can show up with more purpose. We can show up with more passion. We can show up with a smile on our face. And when you learn how to stop trying to fix yourself and just start to live in who you are and God's made you to be, that automatically is a guaranteed confidence boost. So let's get right into it. If you want to learn about more improving your self-esteem or building your confidence, you are definitely in the right spot. We're going to be talking about this all month, because today today specifically, we're going to be talking about how to shift that bulletproof confidence and shift into bulletproof confidence and self-acceptance. And the best part is that you don't have to do anything physically. You just have to think differently. And so let's get rolling here. All right. One foolproof method to build self-esteem is to stop trying to fix yourself. It's to start realizing, understanding that there's nothing wrong with you. God has created you into this perfect individual. He's created a beautiful masterpiece. And the only reason why we feel like we have things to fix in our lives is because we are comparing to other people. If you are constantly in comparison mode with Sally or Susie or the lady next door or the lady at work, or the worst yet, the lady in the magazine. You are limiting yourself to what the beautiful things that God's created you to be. I need to say this more often to people, and I need to say it more often to myself as well. If you want to improve your self-esteem, you have to be thinking about who God made you to be and not what the world thinks that you need to be. So stop trying to fix yourself and start trying to love yourself. When it comes to feelings, there's really usually nothing to fix, because when we really learn about what feelings are, they're just thoughts. They're just emotions. They are not definitions. They are not exacts. They are just different ways to see ourselves and how we create our experiences as human beings. And so when we hold on to those emotions and we hold on to those thoughts, that's when it starts to define us, and that's when we start to think differently about ourselves. A lot of suffering we go through is because we misunderstand how to create our feelings and emotions. We think that we have everything to do with what was going on outside of us, but really we're always trying to fix something else. So we spend so much time fixing something that we can feel something, and on it goes. It's this constant trying to fix and feel situation. But what if I told you that feelings of doubt and uncertainty are just a few passing through things, and they aren't permanent? You don't have to hold on to them. Just because you have a thought that comes into your brain, or just because you have a feeling that comes into your heart and mind, doesn't mean you have to hold on to it. It doesn't have to define who you are and be what it is. All right? I know it's kind of weird, but just hold with me here. Albert Einstein himself said, if I had an hour to solve a problem, I'd spend 55 minutes thinking about the problem and 5 minutes thinking about the solutions. Isn't that crazy? And that's what we do too. In other words, the quickest way to solve a problem isn't first understanding how we think about the problem, it's thinking about the solutions. And that's where the majority of us fail, including myself. We just don't understand how our mind works. What we focus on, we create more of. Have you heard me say that before? So if we're always focusing on the problem, we're going to have more problems. If we start focusing on the solutions, that's where things really come into play. So if we start understanding as human nature, as human beings, we create our own experiences. We approach learning how to improve self-esteem in the same way that we created the problem, by throwing a lot of action and trying to use a lot of willpower and how to fix things. But it's all required is how we understand, we think about it. And understanding how we think about it starts by looking in a different direction. It starts by thinking about how you want to have happen and not what is exactly happening. Knowing what we know now, there's a different way to think about self-esteem. We always mistake our feelings for who we are, and we believe that's because we're feeling it, it must mean that it is us. But it doesn't. Our nature as human beings gives us an innate gift of awareness. We talked about self-awareness earlier this week. When we are aware of everything that goes on around us and in us, that means we are aware of feelings and thoughts that pass through us. And it's good to be aware. It's good to know how we think and how we feel and where we're at, so we can course correct and understand that those feelings and thoughts can pass through us and be a part of our lives, but they don't have to stay and they don't have to always be here. It doesn't mean or say that anything about who we are or what's going on. A thought and a feeling that passed through us, and that's all. Now, sometimes I might think like my kids are going bonkers or somebody at work is driving me bananas, and be like, I'm just going to kill this person, or I just can't stand this anymore. That's a thought. That's a small feeling of emotion, but it doesn't define me. Just because I think those things sometimes doesn't make me a mass murderer, doesn't make me anything of the sort. You have to think about it kind of in that way. And that's maybe an extreme thought there, but just think about it that way. Have you ever said that? Have you ever been like, this is awful, or I just could just, ugh. But like those things, those are thoughts, those are feelings, and they pass through you. They are not who you are. It just means that if you're holding on to those thoughts and feelings longer, it just means you need to let them go. Just bless and release, right? It doesn't have to be a particular thing. The feeling of insecurity is no different than feeling of happiness. They're both just feelings. They both come from thoughts that pass through us moment by moment, and they are temporary and they change. When we see the temporary nature of our thoughts and our feelings, and when we can see also that they don't mean anything really about us, it's a lot easier to let them pass through, and without trying to jump in and fix them or manipulate them. Or worse still, think on the outside for approval and validation. The more you think about what other people think about you, the longer you are going to hold on to them, and the longer you're going to try to feel bad, try to fix the things that are not necessarily wrong with you. The less we try to jump in and fix them and hang out with around them and be with them, the less likely they are to stay. So in his book, Mind Sight by Dr. Daniel Siegel, he talks about this and looks about how the brain works. He writes, how you notice your emotions instead of being overwhelmed by them. Get that? How you notice your emotions instead of being overwhelmed by them. Don't be overwhelmed by your emotions. Be aware of them and then let them pass through. When you hold on to them, that's when you create situations in your life that you're maybe not wanting. What you focus on, you create more of. Your true self and true self-esteem dwell in the place beneath your thoughts and your feelings. It dwells in a space within you that never changes. It's your heart, it's your soul. No matter the circus, what's going on around you in your mind, no matter what's going around you in the outside world, what you notice in your moment by moment situation is all the stuff that's going around us. But when we can focus in on the things that are inside of us, the purpose that God's placed there, the gifts that He's given us, the who He's really made us to be, when you can allow yourself to look beyond the noise and you begin to tune into the true nature of who you are, you discover that in that space within you resides wisdom, it resides peace, it resides clear mind, and always the grace and mercy that we need to keep moving forward. When you can remember and honor the fact that you were created a beautiful being and a beautiful masterpiece beyond what's happening around you, that's when you have true confidence and true self-esteem and moving forward in a better way. You'll see that you're more stable than you ever thought. You'll understand that where true happiness comes from, and you won't be able to be distracted by the noise and the circus around you because you're going to be focused in on the feelings and emotions of love and purpose and circumstances that are going to take you into your true nature of who you want to be. The kindness of design of who we are as humans ensures that we always return back to our default nature of innate peace and clear mind. So when you really are trying to focus in on something, when you're really trying to get back to where you want to be, your mind is trying to self-correct. The only thing that needs from you is to get out of your own way and allow it to self-correct, right? We try to hold on, we overthink things, we overanalyze things, and we hold on to emotions and we hold on to thoughts. And that doesn't allow our mind and our body to release those things. And so by simply getting out of the way and noticing that you are not your thoughts and feelings, allowing them to pass through, you're allowing yourself to just get back to nature, get back to where you need to be. So let's say this again. Simple act of noticing but not getting caught up in the thoughts around you are the true freedom and unshakable self-esteem it comes from. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing that you need to fix about you. This just means that there is nothing you need to do. You just need to focus on what it is that you were made to be. And isn't that crazy? You are already whole. You are already perfect. You are already a beautiful masterpiece. That doesn't mean we don't take care of ourselves. That doesn't mean we don't keep working on who we are, to keep finding that self-awareness, keep connecting to our Christ, keep connecting to our Maker, keep connecting and learning about who we are. We are infinite beings. We are always going to be here, and beyond the noise of the world, beyond the distractions of things around us, remembering and honoring who God's made us to be and who we are meant to be here brings out that self-esteem. It begins by understanding your true nature, by understanding the God that made you, by understanding that everything that you need is already inside of you. And when you can tap into that and let go of the thoughts and the emotions and the comparisons and what the worldly society says we need to be or do or have or whatever, you are going to tap into a beautiful confidence that says, I am who God made me to be. I am who He wants me to be. And you are going to love yourself more. He will love you more. Not that He can love you more because He already loves you infinitely, but you are just going to tap into that love and feel confident and have amazing self-esteem and live your life with purpose and rise up out of that current struggle by letting go of those things that are holding you back, by letting go of the past thoughts and feelings and experiences that have been dragging you down, that you've held onto for so long. Give yourself the freedom to let go of those things and live life on purpose and with confidence and knowing that you are a beautiful masterpiece that nobody needs to fix. Are you having a great day now? I hope that you take one of these pieces. I hope that you are able to expand on one of them. You're able to let go of the thoughts and emotions, and just when you have a negative thought or emotion come into it, change it up. know that this is not who defined me. I am not what this negative thought says. I am not this negative feeling, and turn it around to be a positive. Fill your heart and your mind with the good, who God made you to be as a beautiful being, and He wants you to live that way. All right? I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope you come back and then join me again here on Public House Media, here on Choose to Rise. I hope that you jump in and join us in our Together We Rise group. It's for clients who are working on improving their health and their body and their mind. And I just love these women so much, and I hope that you get to join us there. And if anything, you hit like and follow along on our Choose to Rise community there on Facebook, and I hope to see you back here again. Thanks so much for joining me this morning. Thanks for hanging in there in technical difficulties, and I will see you all here very, very soon. Bye.